everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over an early Halloween forecast. So, of course, I will have another Halloween forecast since we are about a week and a week and 2 days away. But I did want to kind of get an early look and give you an idea of what it could be like for your Halloween night, even your morning and day, just to kind of show you how it could be throughout the day. But you can see we're going to go ahead and start right here. We're going to go ahead and start on the 31st of the night. Let's even do the night before. So this will be, even though it does say 31st up there, this will be the 30th at night. And that will be your Wednesday. And you can see how we do on the GFS model, of course. We do actually have some snow showers across parts of the Northeast. And you can see some rain and snow showers mixed. And you can see across parts of Michigan. Maybe, you can see northern Michigan too. Some snow could definitely bring a dusting, and you can see as we do keep moving through your morning, we do get some snow showers and rain showers keep extending across the Northeast. We could actually see some, some okay totals and light to moderate totals across the Northeast on your Halloween. So across the Northeast in some regions, we could actually have a white Halloween. So instead of a white Christmas, it's a white Halloween, which is a little weird to say, but that is what it could look like. And you can see even across parts of Michigan, we could definitely see it too, especially along these Great Lakes. You can see some of the snow coming off. So if we were to look at this, you can see how throughout the day, and this is going to be your morning a little bit, your late morning, we do definitely have some snow showers just lingering across parts of the Northeast and across parts of Michigan. And right there near Canada, north of Michigan, we do have some snow showers around. Now, if we were to keep going throughout into your afternoon, you can see how these snow showers really do start to ramp up for many people as we do get into those afternoon hours. Now, you can see across some regions, we could definitely have some rain showers mixing in, especially across the coastal areas if we do get any showers to come down there. But other than that, it should be pretty consistent snow for many. You can see in these blues is where that consistent snow is. There are some greens mixed in where we could have some warmer patches of air and have a mix. But if you're in that blue, that's where you'll be seeing snow. And then in those greens, oranges, yellows, reds, that is where we are going to be seeing your rain. Not much of that on the radar, as you can see. But as we do get into your nighttime, we will have some snow showers around. You can see there definitely will be some around across the Northeast. Not expecting like a huge snowstorm, but this does bring us a few snow showers, which, that's pretty nice to have on Halloween. I wish I could have that on Halloween, though it'll be very cold here. But you can see snow totals. You can see around a dusting in parts of eastern West Virginia. You can see maybe a quick inch in some of those highest elevations around, Snowshoe Mountain. And you can see how some of these purples and pinks, maybe around, I'd say 5 to 6 inches. You can see by this key. I think we will be on the lower end, anywhere near 5 to 6. And other than that, if you're in that darkest blue, anywhere from a dusting to an inch. And then if you're in that light, the lightest blue, that's anywhere from maybe 2 to 3 inches. So that is what you're looking at if you're in any of these areas. But you can see we do have a pretty widespread area of snow. A lot of these places will have a dusting to an inch, but some along those Great Lakes could get some higher totals of maybe 4 to 6 inches, which is a big deal on Halloween. That is pretty nice to have. And you can see across Michigan, a dusting to an inch over those scattered areas where we do get these scattered snow showers. You can see across some of these regions. That is what we're looking at. And you can see even across the northeastern northern Rocky Mountains, maybe a dusting in those highest peaks you can see right there. But we will have some snow on top of that, to where we've been seeing so much snow this early fall. So you will definitely have a white Halloween there. If you've been seeing quite a bit of snow, it has been pretty consistent, and you do think you'll have that snow that'll stay there, that snowpack for a lot of the north central United States, especially that region. I do think you will definitely be having, you'll have snow on the ground on your Halloween. Maybe not snowing on Halloween, but definitely some snow showers around, maybe, possibly. But maybe definitely some on the ground from those previous snowstorms. But you can see across here is where we will definitely be having that snow on Halloween. But it won't be too impressive. Dusting to an inch widespread, 1 to 3 inches in those lightest blues, maybe 2 to 3 inches in those lightest blues, and then in those purples and those pinks, about 4 to 6. So nothing too crazy, but it's nice to have that on your Halloween. So if we look at those bitter cold temperatures I was talking about earlier, you can see this is around your Wednesday night, right before Halloween. So this is the night before, and you can see we are in those teens and 20s for a lot of the north central United States. So that is very, very cold for many people. It's really cold. So If we were to keep looking, you can see across the north we do have some 39s, into 40s. So 30s and 40s for many parts of many people in the northeast. You can see across the mid-Atlantic states anywhere from 40s to 50s. Moving into the Ohio Valley, Tennessee River Valley, you can see we're in those 30s and 40s. And then as we keep moving south into the southeast, anywhere across the south, we'll probably be in those 60s, 70s, and the very tip of Florida, very southern tip, is at 80. So anywhere from 60s to 70s, and then, the extreme will be 80 down in very southern Florida. But you can see for many people, we'll be in those 30s to 50s for your Halloween, which is a good thing. That is very nice to have. That's very comfortable. But you can see we do have some, well, not very comfortable if you're in those 30s or 40s, but maybe 50s getting a little comfortable. But when you think of Halloween, so a lot of people do think of cold. If you live, in the central or northern United States, you do think of that. And then you can see, of course, those teens and 20s. That'll be crazy. Now, you do have to remember this is the night before Halloween, but it'll be, if this was the temps we did see on your Halloween, that would be pretty nice. But this is about what we are going to see that night. But you can see as we do move throughout your Thursday on your Halloween, you can see how we do have some 30s and 40s for many people across the Northeast. Of course, we'll be picking up some of that snow for many, but you can see a big chunk of the U.S., a lot of the, central plains and those north central plains, you can see how cold it is. Teens and 20s for many. You can see Chicago probably will be anywhere from 20s to 30s. This will be your late morning on Thursday. You can see 32 degree is moving down into western North Carolina, and you can see across the southeast, very, very southeast into Florida. We're still in the 60s and 70s. It's not really going to change much. Very tropical climate there. But you can see how we do even have some 40s extending all the way down to parts of the Gulf Coast, maybe even to Houston. You can see there. So it'll be very cold. Now, not everyone's going to see it. If you're right along the Gulf Coast, probably 50s and 60s for you. Probably not much of, that really, really cold air. But if we were to keep looking into your afternoon hours for the central and eastern United States, I'll have to show you the afternoon hours in a minute for the west. But you can see how we do have the 20s and 30s just staying up here throughout your day, and you can see just general 30s staying for many of these people. As we do get some snow across the northeast, we're gonna have to see if we do get too warm for that snow to drop. We're definitely gonna have to see if that does change over to rain showers in some regions. I do think some regions could stay in the snow showers throughout the whole day, especially along those Great Lakes, but we'll definitely have to see. You can see southeast once again, 60s and 70s, very tip of Florida, and those 80s, the southern tip, of course. But you can see many people across the United States, anywhere from 30s to 40s in your afternoon. But if we were to look into the west, you can see right here, we're just going to focus on the west because it's a different time zone. But you can see generally we're in the 70s and 80s across southwestern Arizona, and then throughout a lot of California, we're in 60s and 70s. You can see right in those Sierra Mountains, maybe 50s, maybe even some 40s in those highest peaks. Maybe even a little colder because it does get very cold up there in those highest peaks. But you can see 50s for many people across the north, very tip of the Pacific Northwest. But you can see some 30s where we do have our highest elevations in parts of Washington. So definitely do watch out there. But you can see now if we were to keep moving east, you can see this will be your Halloween night. This will be your conditions that night. You can see very cold temperatures for many. The coldest temperatures will be getting very south. So if you are anywhere in here, you'll be getting very cold temperatures, and I would even extend that down into there. So you can see a big chunk of the big chunk of the U.S. will be seeing this. You can see 20s, just mainly 20s, and maybe even some teens, but mainly 20s in that blue area. You can see right here a lot of 20s. And then you can see in that region across the north central United States. And if we were to look up here, you can see 30s for a lot of the central United States into the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys. Also, as we do move up into the northeast, into the mid-Atlantic, some 60s and 70s for parts of Florida. You can see there, so not too crazy when it does come to the colder weather, but it'll be pretty comfortable for many. And if we were to look at your nighttime temperatures for the west when it does come to trick-or-treating on your Halloween night, you can see maybe if you're going to a party or anything that does involve a Halloween night, you can see will be generally 50s to 60s right at the very tip of Southern California. You can see the very tip right there, and then southwestern Arizona, you can see it too. And then as we do move over many other regions of the northwest, you can see 30s for many, some 20s in those highest elevations. You can see there. And then throughout the Sierra Mountains will be in the 30s, maybe even some 20s at the very tip top of many of some of the mountains, but you can see 40s and 50s for many regions of California, especially those 50s, is generally what we will be seeing. Okay, so if we were to move over into your Climate Prediction Center forecast, this is the 28th through the 1st. So this isn't directly on your Halloween, but this does give you an idea of what's going on. So you can see this does have our most below average temperatures across the west and the central United States, but the bulk of our cold air, you can see mainly across here, we are seeing our coldest air. So that's where, of course, we'll be seeing our coldest air for this Halloween, especially across here. We were looking at it very cold, but into the northeast we will actually be seeing colder temperatures. Even down here we will. You can see how we do have some, you can see it does say above average, but like 30 to 40 above average across many. Now up here, around here, it'll probably be pretty likely we're above average. But, for some of these regions, we're going to have to see how they do it. You can see normal across here, which is actually pretty cold for the northern tier of this. You can see up here, it's going to be cold anyway. So if you're anywhere across the northeast or mid-Atlantic, it's going to be a cold Halloween. But the more you get into those darkest blues, it'll be way colder in those 20s and maybe even teens for some people, especially right along the upper Midwest region. So if we were to look at the precipitation, once again, you can see how our biggest area of precipitation will be across the southeast, which we are happy about right now because we are in a huge drought across the southeast. It's been pretty big here, but you can see how across the west will be way drier, especially the very northwest will be very, very dry. And then you can see across here we do have our above average, and then of course the northeast, you remember that snow that we were seeing, that could factor to some of those above precipitation values. So that's what we're looking at. But you can see much of the east will be very above average, and most of the central United States will be above average. Only the west will be the driest, which we do see a lot. But I mean, as we do move up into here, that is not very common. So we'll have to see how that does keep going throughout the fall season, maybe even to winter. But you can see if you're anywhere across these greens, you're going to be seeing wetter than normal conditions somewhere around your Halloween time. So definitely do watch that. Watch your forecast as we do get into Halloween. I will keep y'all updated on the Halloween forecast. This is not the last one. I may have one or two more, but we'll have to see. But yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, consider subscribing and leaving a like down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this kind of video, and I will see you guys in the next one.